Hi, I'm Elliot, and I love to travel, but with everything that happened, it's hard to say when I'll cross another border. Still, I have an itch, and recently I found myself on Google Maps just wandering around. It doesn't really compare with the real thing, but it's still fun to do, so I thought I'd share my experience in this series called Google Maps Adventure. So join me and my pegman as we explore Google Maps Street View in the safety of our homes. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Google Maps Adventures with me, Elliot. It is so good to see you. And before we get started, I just want to thank you for choosing to spend your hard-earned time with me today. I know there's a lot you could do, a lot of fun, entertaining things, but today it's going to be fun. I promise. We're going to do something really interesting because the place where we're going to today is a place that I only have good memories about, and that is Las Vegas, Nevada. So we have a lot of grounds to cover. I have a lot of memories I want to share with you, a lot of travel tips, if you may, to Las Vegas. But the thing is going to Las Vegas even considered traveling, or is it just like going to an amusement park? Is going to an amusement park traveling? Is like going to Disneyland traveling? Do people say that? I'm traveling to Disneyland. I'm gonna get so cultured. It's like, okay, it's like all fake. But these are the important topics that we're gonna talk about today. I'm just kidding. There will be nothing important today. But thank you for joining along. Let's get started. I already wasted too much time already. There's a lot to cover. Las Vegas. Such an iconic place. Such a place. When I think of America, I think of New York, I think of Los Angeles, and then I think of Las Vegas. Everything in between doesn't matter to me. Not important. Las Vegas is where it's at. So where should we start? There's so many good spots, but I decided let's start as far south as we can, and we'll work our way back up. And what better place to start than at the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. I've actually never been to this sign. I've never been this far south. Never seen this parking lot before. But I love that there's a parking lot to go look at a sign. You know, not to go to a store, not to go to anything. I feel like there should be a Starbucks here, you know? I feel like there's something more you could do. It's clearly just a photo op, and these ladies here, they're taking advantage of the empty crowds that is currently COVID-19 and the subsequent chaos that is that. So yeah, I assume back a while ago, this would be a much more busy parking lot. Now it's super deserted and it's kind of sad, but hey, look at the sign. This sign still looks good, right? It's actually like, I can't tell if it's nice to go to Vegas during like a quiet time or really busy time, you know? For a while there, I was really worried about Las Vegas when everything shut down and all the casinos were like closing and all the restaurants were like in chaos. I am glad it recovered, it bounced back, and I mean, risking people's lives to go to Las Vegas is, you know, whatever it takes, right? I can wait, but I'm glad this city rebounded the way it did. So here's a sign. It's a beautiful sign. It's very, very good. In the back, it's like, drive carefully, come back soon. That it knows, like, that is a sign that understands its audience. Reckless, chaotic, negligent, that the sign needs to tell you to, like, okay, drive carefully so you can come back and spend more money. Don't kill yourself on the highway. Or I know you lost all your money and things are going to be bad and you really don't want to go home to your family who you left behind for a while, but please drive carefully and come back. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's definitely the vibe I'm getting from that goodbye sign. And then, all right, let's start heading towards the Strip. It's a big Harley Davidson store. Wow, I never, like I mentioned, I'm never this far south. It's Las Vegas is one of those places because everything is so big. It makes you feel like everything's really close together when you just like look down the street, but things are like miles away from each other. And it's also the desert, so you think you can walk there, and you can. I love walking. If you've heard, if you watched my previous Google Maps adventures, you'll know that I love walking. But there's a difference between like walking around a city and walking through a desert. Oh, so this is a little wedding chapel here. I love it. All right. Make note. Millionaire recover monthly. I also love all the lawyer ads. It's just absolute chaos. So yeah, another thing is these hotels are so big. They take up like so many like big city block. Like this is all Mandalay Bay, which is the first place we're visiting. You look like I need a drink. Okay. So also love like the empty lots of Vegas. Like obviously there's nothing special about it, but it gives you that it's always kind of in development type of feeling that you get. So Mandalay Bay is, I mean, there's a lot to say about Mandalay Bay. I've never really spent too much time here. Like I mentioned, I'm rarely this far south. At some point it just becomes, look at it. It's kind of desolate. It really does feel like I haven't been to other parts of Las Vegas, like the other areas, but I assume it's a lot like this, kind of like a strip mall type of feel. There's a McDonald's and a liquor store up ahead. So that's like the south side gives me this vibe of on the Strip. So Mandalay Bay, I think it's world famous for just hosting some incredible like fights and events, but in recent history, it's the place where a horrible tragedy occurred, the shooting that took place 4 years ago at that country music festival, which is awful. Just simply, how do I say this? It's just one of those things where a city that you love so much, and you feel it. You feel like things are going bad, much like how COVID kind of crippled Vegas. I think this event with that shooter guy kind of really affected me because, like a city that you love and just what it stands for, and you just hate to see that happen. Another thing that kind of, when I think of Mandalay Bay and I think of that horrible event, is how close it was to my wedding day. I remember my wedding with my wife was on September 30th of that same year, 2017, and I remember just having like, your wedding day is a great time, and you're like celebrating, you're with friends, and then you wake up the next day to the news that the city that you love so much, that you have so many fond memories, that I went to my bachelor party there, and just in such close proximity to like a happy moment is like another sad moment. It kind of affects you, but it also, I think it brings you closer to the place, to people, and like a place, I guess, is like an event like that, like both a happy and a tragic event. And so Mandalay Bay, that is the kind of the key memory that I have of that place. Is just, it's so far removed from any sort of real memory that I have, but in terms of what it represents, that's kind of it. Let's continue moving on northwards, down Las Vegas Boulevard, and towards perhaps one of my just aesthetically favorite hotel, and that is the Luxor. I've been talking a lot with whoever listens to me recently, which is mostly my wife, because I've been just at home all the time with nobody else, and she has to deal with me. I love the Luxor. I love the idea of a place so foreign being brought close to us, the regular people of North America, because going to Egypt is like kind of that is traveling. Going to Egypt is traveling. Going to the Luxor is kind of just like going to a theme. It's like going to Chuck E. Cheese, kind of, right? You're not really getting any sort of historical thing. You're just here for the good time. You're here for a good time. Anyways, I kind of got my thoughts kind of went all over the place there. But what I was trying to say is I've been thinking a lot about life in general. I'm thinking about my life and these moments I have left of actually, doing legit traveling. I'm getting older. Things are going to get harder. Am I going to get that many opportunities to travel to a place like Egypt where I don't speak the language, where it's like kind of a sensory overload type of place? Will I actually ever get to see the pyramids of Giza up close and personal? And the answer is, I think, leaning closer to no than it is to leaning closer to yes. The likelihood of me going there is very slim. So the idea that I get to go to a casino, kind of the shape, but me staying at the Luxor for like a 3-day weekend is very possible. Very possible. In fact, it is almost likely to happen. If I was to put money on it, which I do because I'm a gambling man. I'm just kidding. I'm actually not. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, I love this place because sour beer. Because there's really nothing quite like it on the Strip. It's, first of all, you go in and it's kind of disorienting because the walls and the ceiling kind of converge. It's a pyramid and it actually feels that way. I'm very curious about what the hotel rooms actually feels like once you're living inside. Also, the home of the Blue Man Group. I don't know. Anyways, that's my thought on Luxor. I love it. It's definitely, in terms of the theme, definitely in the top 10 hotels. I feel, yeah, that's not saying maybe in top 5. I'll give it the top 5. However, Carrot Top is playing. Another reason to go to the Luxor, definitely. Carrot Top, Esport, Carrot Top, Blue Man Group. Come on, I don't think I need to sell you anymore on the Luxor, right? Book your ticket now. Yeah, let's keep rolling along. Yeah, the thing is, it's so far south. It really is. Like, you think like walking down this whole block is easy. It's like maybe 10-15 minutes of walking, and you combine that with like the rest of the Strip, it adds up. And on a hot Vegas day or a sultry Vegas night, it is tiring, and you're like 20 drinks in, and you're covered in fluids of various kind, and you're strapped for cash, and things, you're falling onto hard times. Sometimes it's hard to get your way all the way to Luxor, but I try. Each time I go, I try to at least get to Luxor. Maybe not Mandalay Bay, but I'll try. I'm gonna stay at the Luxor one day. That's a promise. Yeah, I'm gonna see the Great Pyramids. All right, the next one I want to talk about is this one. What is this? Excalibur. That's right. So Excalibur is probably the one that. Okay, I'll tell you my most notable memory of Excalibur. It is probably the smokiest hotel of them all. Very smoky. You go inside and you feel like you've definitely traveled back in time. It's one of the older hotels on the Strip, and it feels like it. There's also this, I guess it's called like a travelator, like an escalator, but without any steps, that kind of leads you in. I love that part as well. One of my favorite memories of that. I believe here, and the Luxor as well, you could catch the monorail, and it'll bring you a little closer back towards the middle of the Strip. Yeah, the tram station. So you could catch the tram station here, and it's actually the faster way without having to walk or take the Uber. That's when it's like a 2-star driver. That's a Uber. Yeah. What am I gonna say? I keep getting distracted by my own thoughts. Excalibur. I don't think I'll ever stay at the Excalibur. Maybe one day when I'm really old, maybe if I want to just like, you know what, I'm gonna commit to this being an old person who gambles. And I mean, I'm Asian, but I don't really like to gamble. I'm kind of, how do you say, financially responsible. So I don't like to gamble too much. I give myself a minimum or a maximum. I give myself a minimum and a maximum to spend in Vegas. Enough to say I went to Vegas and I gambled a bit, but not enough so I, have to remortgage my house or something. Okay, so that was Excalibur. Here's Tropicana. The great thing about Tropicana is that it's close to MGM Grand. No, it's actually a good meeting point should you ever lose all your friends on the highway at some point. Tropicana. It's easy to remember where it is because what is it? It's on Tropicana Boulevard in Las Vegas. Is that even true? Let's see a sign here. Yeah, so I don't even think that's true. Never mind. What's great about Tropicana? But I don't know. It's just an iconic hotel casino in Vegas. Just one of the many. It's like Flamingo. There's nothing like, it doesn't have a theme to go with it that I know of. Honestly, I don't even think I've been inside of Tropicana, which is a shame. I'm gonna go next time. I'm gonna go and tell you how I feel. It won't just be a meeting spot with my friends. It just seems so, it's not the Luxor. It's not even Excalibur where there's a castle. It's just like a pretty chill type of hotel. Oh, it is Tropicana Avenue. It would make sense that it is, right? Sorry. Okay, next hotel I want to talk about is the Oyo Hotel. Oyo Hotel. Can you guess what it was formerly? The Hooters Hotel. That's right. Here's to all the people who kept Hooters going, even during these crazy times. I'll tell you my most vivid memory. The only time I've ever been to a Hooters is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. There isn't a Hooters anywhere, but I assume the one in Calgary is still, business is still booming. Actually, I'm not sure. But going to the Hooters, me and my 3 other friends, we kind of hyped it up a lot. It was like this one thing that we wanted to do that whole day of walking around Calgary. and we got ourselves to Hooters. We took a cab ride. We made it there, and our server, lovely server, not what we expected, because she had braces, which is nothing wrong with that, but how can I say? It was anticlimactic, if nothing more. So that was my one and only Hooters memory. Hopefully I can make many more. Hopefully that business survives the next few years. The delivery service is great at Hooters. All right, let's talk about MGM Grand. We're finally coming to a hotel that I actually spent time in, that I actually stayed at. The MGM Grand, like the street Tropicana, usually marks where I would like turn around and head back the other way. Staying at MGM, it is a lot of fun, a lot of cool thing. Oh, I am in some sort of loading dock. Let me get out of here. Oh, can I not take this exit out? Okay. So I feel like if you're coming to Las Vegas to party hard, MGM Grand, great place to be. They have Hakkasan, which is, if clubbing is your thing, it is not mine. Definitely not mine. I find so little pleasure. In my mind, I think clubbing is fun. Like, I have memories of flashing lights, music, dancing girls. It sounds fun, but in reality, it is just crowds of people. You're spending money, and you feel like you should be happier, right? And probably you should be, but as you get older, there just isn't enough drugs to make it worth it, I think. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But MGM Grand is a lovely hotel overall. I enjoyed my stay here. Look at this. Look at these people taking pictures. What is this lady doing? I enjoyed my stay here. For the things I want to do, it does feel a little far south. And what more can I say about MGM Grand? Oh yeah, I stayed here once. That was for my birthday. However, I also had a family vacation to Las Vegas. That's right. I was 19. I was 19 years old, traveling with my mom, my dad, and one of their coworkers. It was a little odd, for sure. A weird group that to go to Vegas. If you know my parents, you can imagine it being a weird experience. They're not fun people. They don't like adventure or spending money. They kind of just walked around. We had some food. They kind of talked angrily at each other. What I did, so I could keep my sanity during these few days of this vacation, was I would just walk around the strip. I call it urban hiking. That's kind of my term. So we were staying at the Mirage, and I walked all the way to MGM Grand, and that was a long walk. But I ended up walking into the hotel casino and just getting completely lost in there, and just, I would say, spending, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour, just like wandering around. I ended up on the side of the road on the highway. It's probably the most confusing hotel of them all, just in my personal experience. So there's also that comes with it. It's a really big hotel. But on the other side is, I believe, a much more delightful place to go and wander around for hours and hours. New York, New York. I love New York. I love New York, New York also. Another time that I decided to go to Vegas was really sparked by this casino, because I really wanted to go to New York. I have fond memories of me going to New York with my wife, Sharon, and I wanted to relive it. The thing about New York is it's like 10 times as expensive to go to New York than it is to go to Vegas in all ways. Flights, accommodation, food, all more expensive. So I compromised. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas because they have a New York. They have a New York, New York. It's two New Yorks in one, really. And it has a roller coaster. The real New York does not have a roller coaster. And this is a separate occasion, but how would you get rid of a hangover after a 4-day binge? I'll tell you how. Take a roller coaster ride at New York, New York, and you'll feel great after. There isn't like a cup of coffee, there isn't like a Red Bull or even like one of those oxygen things. None of that. Don't even do that. Go take a roller coaster ride and it'll just get you back to base level for you to party for another 24, 48 hours. Try it. Roller coasters are great. I wish it was just a more regular form of traveling, really. Like, imagine instead of public transit, you could just take a roller coaster ride. You know, like, oh my God, Monday. Oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. And you strap yourself into the roller coaster and you woo! And then all of a sudden you're at work and you just feel good. You're ready to start the week. I think every week should begin with a roller coaster ride. That's what I want. So Vegas is absolutely perfect, and this is it's actually a really fun roller coaster. New York, New York, highly recommended. If you go and you're feeling kind of down, just feeling like, maybe I'm gonna take it easy today. You know when you're like that, you're just like, I'm gonna take it easy, but don't. Take a roller coaster ride and then continue on with your day. This poor guy. See, this guy, he could use a roller coaster ride. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Vegas Golden Knights. I kind of adopted them as my second favorite hockey team just because of, Vegas. I could see myself going here. And yeah, it's a theater. I rarely actually walk into these areas, right? It's actually a good time to kind of explore this side of New York, New York. What do you think they serve here? Like cakes at the Hello Kitty Cafe? The T-Mobile Arena is where the Golden Knights play. I can't wait for Vegas to have more sporting teams. Big fan of sports, and yeah, I only wish the best for the city, and I look forward to coming back more regularly, to be honest. Like I mentioned, I have dreams of just walking down the strip and just drinking in public. Some of my favorite things to do. Okay, so on this side, you see this big Coke bottle, and then you see this big guitar. Vegas is just a wonderful place for photo ops, right? During non-COVID times, you'll see, Elmos and other kind of cartoon characters wandering around. There, just try not to interact with them. Yeah, just let them be. The M&M store, it's over here. What can I say about the M&M store? Oh, also this place. I got Popeye's chicken here once, and I'm not saying that was what got me sick, but maybe it was that drink I was having the previous night, which was a half blue Gatorade bottle filled with Jaeger and then other miscellaneous liquid. Maybe that was it. Maybe a combination of that swamp water and Popeye's chicken the next morning. Yeah, it did something in my stomach. Some sort of chemical reaction, if you will. And then, yeah, just want to share that with you. So be careful with what you, when and where you add Popeye's chicken to the mix that is currently your consumption, your bodily consumption. Yeah. So M&M store, fun. Just they always appear in one of the like most prime real estate in the world, right? Walgreens, Target. Always know where the Walgreens and Target is, just in case you need to buy, more alcohol. That is, not incredibly overpriced. A great thing about Vegas that I love, probably one of my favorite things, is the convenience of it. You could get anything. You could get like the lowest common denominator food. Not saying Popeye's chicken is that, but you could also get the most high-end dining experience of your, of your short little pathetic life. And it has everything in between. It's just like this big scale of enjoyment. You could go to Vegas and spend as little money as you want, or you go to Vegas and just like totally splurge. And I like that a place can be like that because it's not discriminatory to who you are. It's like, you got money, we want your money. You have money, we want your money. You have a lot of money, we want all your money. You have a little money, we want all your money. I love that about Vegas. But yeah, just be careful where you buy alcohol because some places are like $20 drinks. But if you go to, like for example here, one of these strip malls, and you go in, this cold beer place, you could probably get like a 6-pack for like, I don't know, $10 or something. And it can last you, for the duration of this walk. And that's kind of what I do. I'm not classy. No one said I'm classy, all right? That's not what I'm about. I always thought about staying at one of these like more, kind of low-key type of hotels, like the Travelodge. Could you imagine staying at the Travelodge on the Vegas Strip? Let's just go in and check it out. Like, look at this. It feels like a little sketchy, right? Like these gentlemen here, they're like, they're up to no good. Like they're clearly cleaning, but they're also like, do not, like the Google car is really making them uncomfortable. So something's up. Yeah, like just, I like it. Definitely like lock your door while you're here. That's the Travelodge. No real memory of this place. Never really walked in, but it's good to see it, I suppose. This crew. This crew is definitely. Is this guy taking off his sweater? all right. I'm just walking back and forth. One of these guys, I gotta lead them. Hey, showgirls. Found ya. All right, so yeah, on this side you can see expensive stores, Dolce and Gabbana. I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about brands, but yeah, this area is like fancy, and we're heading towards Aria and the Cosmopolitan, which are, in my mind, more like fancy style hotel. It's not like a theme hotel. It's just like kind of classy. It's much more classier than the Excalibur or the former Hooters Hotel Oyo. One of the best parts of Vegas are these escalators, overpasses for pedestrians. That means you don't have to wait at a crosswalk if you don't want to. You could just keep moving, and that's wonderful because we all have places to go, and it's like 40 degrees heat sometimes. And these overpasses are great. It just keeps you moving. It also leads you into stores and stuff, so you have to, you know, be tempted by the marketing and potentially spend money, which is really what it's all about, right? So good city planning. That is what I call good city planning. All right, so let's keep moving. Aria, Cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan is, I love this place. It's just so, it makes you feel like you're somebody when you're in there. Does that make sense? It makes you feel like you're somebody, like chandeliers and like ringing sounds, and it makes you, when you walk into it, you feel a little special. And I think that's what Vegas should be about. It should be about making you feel like you've earned something just for being here. And I love that feeling, because I am someone who craves attention, and I have this need to feel special. And boy, I don't get that enough in my day-to-day life. So coming to Vegas is like a good way to like get that energy meter back up, if you know what I mean. And Cosmo is definitely one of the places to do it. Also a lot of good restaurants in there. And yeah, Momofuku, Egg Slut, the Twisted Spoon or Fork or something like that, which is like a buffet, like a $60 American buffet. It's quite expensive. Actually, do go there when you're hungry. So this is Planet Hollywood and the Miracle Mile. The Miracle Mile is kind of like a mall that you can walk through. It's actually really, I always have a good time walking through it with a drink or something. Planet Hollywood, what can I say about that? It's just really just a hotel, but one of my favorite spots in the Miracle Mile, Planet Hollywood Hotel, is at some point you'll need to go to the bathroom. And the great thing about Vegas is that bathrooms are everywhere. If you're going to drink in public, if you're going to drink walking around all day, drinking at casinos and drinking at restaurants, you want there to be bathrooms everywhere, because otherwise it could get pretty gross. One of my favorite bathrooms here, just waiting for whoever I'm with to use the loo, is a picture of like a bunch of celebrities from maybe the 90s, and you got like Robin Williams, Robert De Niro, another Rob of some sort, and they're just they're all together. It's some sort of like event where they all took a picture, and it's all like these iconic celebrities, actors, directors, and oh my god, I love looking at that picture. And I think if you've been to this place, you probably know what picture I'm talking about, and it fills me with joy. It's like going to an old relative's house and just seeing like a picture of like the family all together. It's like you feel like you know these people, but obviously you don't, because come on, you're nobody. But like seeing that, it makes you feel warm. It's like Christmas Day and I'm together with everybody, but really you're just in a drunken haze wandering around just after using the bathroom at some random hotel. Yeah, but that's Planet Hollywood. On this side is the Bellagio. Actually, before we go over to the Bellagio, this is about like center of the strip now. We're kind of in it. Paris is another hotel that I stayed at. A wonderful place. It was actually that time that I really wanted to go to New York. I decided to stay at Paris. Doesn't really make sense, but that's what we did. This is actually one of the best hotels that I stayed at. I'm on a budget. What can I say? But I show up to the lobby, up to the clerk, the counter, and I'm like, hey, can I get a room that faces the Eiffel Tower? And the lady was like, sure. Oh, in my mind, I'm thinking it's gonna be an awesome room. awesome room. I'm gonna be facing the tower. I'm gonna get to look out the window and see the fountains of Bellagio Hotel. It ends up being like this like second floor suite, and if I look through, you know, some bushes, I can see the Eiffel Tower all the way up there. That was special. That was special. That reminded me, like, you could ask for things, they'll give it to you, but it's kind of like reality expectation, that meme. It really was that. What was that over there? Okay, so Bellagio, obviously we all know this spot, absolutely iconic. Ocean's 11, right? Everybody who comes here needs to take a picture, needs to spend a moment, needs to listen, just watch the Bellagio fountain at least once, right? Right? Answer me. It's absolutely one of my favorite hotels to walk through, because the Bellagio, like, talk about like feeling good about yourself. This is definitely one of the hotels that makes you feel like you've achieved something. You don't even need to spend money in here. I don't know if I've ever spent $1. I might have like put my, you know, voucher into the machine and like lost some money in Bellagio, but I don't know if I've ever spent money. I guess I watched Cirque du Soleil here. Oh, the water one, that was kind of expensive, but I had a good time. And just look at this. Just look at the details of this place. And every time I go to Bellagio, one thing that I look for, and I'm not a decoration kind of guy. That's really not my thing. I don't like that stuff. That's decorations, not for me. But the display, the seasonal display that they have, and the detail and the kind of scope of it, it fills up this whole courtyard auditorium area. I'm just like, every time I'm amazed, and I'm not easily impressed, and it's always very impressive. Like, I just want to be there in like the meeting as they like try to like design and organize all that stuff for that display, because it's actually very incredible. And yeah, very incredible. Everything about the Bellagio, it's okay with me. It's okay with me. I like fancy things. I'm not, you know, not stuck up. I'm not stuck up, God's sakes. Bally's, sorry, not Bally's. Bally's, this was the hotel that I was gonna go to 2 months before COVID struck. We were planning a trip to Las Vegas, me and some friends. My friend was having a bachelor party. He wanted to celebrate in Vegas, like what I did, and I really looked forward to going. We booked hotels at Bally's. COVID hit, had to cancel everything. So one day, to be continued, we'll go to Bally's, and it'll be great. It's such a central location. It's kind of like one of the more low-key hotels to go to, right, really close to the CVS. Yes, you could buy alcohol there. As a Canadian, well, as a British Columbian, we don't get liquor in regular stores. We have to go to a liquor store to get it. So when we're grocery shopping, we can't actually buy alcohol. We can't buy a bottle of vodka. We can't buy a bottle of wine. We got to make a separate trip to another store to do this. For Americans, this is like, it just sounds crazy, and you know, it feels like it's interfering with your freedom. You know, it makes you feel oppressed almost. That's how we feel in Canada. So please, sympathy. This part, where am I? I'm all disoriented from that speech. Yeah, there's a bunch of stores in here. Really fun place to go. A bunch of cool knick-knack places. Exotic racing. That can only be good. All right, let's keep going. There's still a lot more to do, and we spent a lot of time already. So we crossed the street here, and here's the Flamingo, the world famous Flamingo. This is another hotel that I stayed at. This is actually the one I stayed at for my bachelor party, and perfect, wonderful place. Except all my friends showed up kind of like 5 minutes apart, and all got different rooms on like different wings of the hotel, so we were all separated. But that is to be expected from my friends. That is how they do things, and I love them for it. I love them for the inability to coordinate things. Thank you. But Flamingo is a lovely place. Definitely one of the older hotels here, but if you want like a real vintage feel, whatever that means to you, definitely a good place to go. There's a nice little outside part that is perfect for, you know, enjoying the night. Probably smoking. You can smoke. So you could actually like smoke in most places. You go to Excalibur and smoke, actually. Here's Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay. Who doesn't love Gordon Ramsay? Maybe Bobby Flay. But if you're not Bobby Flay, you probably love Gordon Ramsay. And I do too. And one day I went to Gordon Ramsay's steak at the Paris. This puddle is really cool, right? That's a really cool reflection. Google Maps. Gordon Ramsay's steak at Paris. Delicious. Was it the best meal I've ever had in Las Vegas? No, but still very good. So Caesar's Palace, I would say, has one of the best outdoor courtyard walking experience in all of the Strip. I don't know if I could get to it from where I am, but like, look at this, like this kind of stuff. I mean, is it the real authentic thing? No, but that is not what you come to Vegas for. You're not coming to Vegas for like a real authentic cultural experience. You come here for like a photo op and some fun and to look at things. But like, who's to say? Someone still had to make this. Someone put work into this, and you know, they might not be Roman. They might just be a guy with a computer. But come on, you gotta give credit where credit is due. Caesar's Palace is also, there's just this fun food court that you get to walk into. It's always good to have a sit, take a load off, if you will, and just relax for a bit at Caesar's Palace. And that's usually what I do. Is it over here? Yeah, it's one of these stores over here. Okay, well, let's keep moving down this way towards Mirage. I stayed at Mirage. That was where I stayed when I went to Vegas with my parents. It was a lovely place. Mirage is fun. A lot of good memories there. Me and my friends, when we went there for my bachelor party, we hung out in the sports betting area and just watched like hockey games and bet there. That was a lot of fun. In terms of the theme of Mirage, it used to have like this volcano that exploded. I think they stopped doing that, and inside it's just kind of this tropical feel to it. It's not like special in any way compared to many of the other hotels on the Strip, so definitely go check it out. But yeah, it's a very nice hotel, to be honest. Very nice hotel, but theme-wise, it lost a little when it lost that volcano. Then there's Treasure Island. There's actually a monorail type of thing, or like underground. It's not a tunnel, but like a passageway that you could go from the Mirage to Treasure Island. I always like taking that. It's a lot of fun. And Treasure Island is, of course, I don't know if they even do, they did a rebranding a few years ago, and this is just their, like maybe 10 years ago. I don't know, like who's that like for? It's kind of got this like Toys R Us type of vibe to it, which there was like this period where Las Vegas was trying to appeal to like families. I guess that's why my family brought me there. Not that I was a child, I was like a 19-year-old. And the funny thing is, being a 19-year-old in Vegas is like you're still not old enough to drink. The drinking age is 19 here in British Columbia, Vancouver, but it's still the States, so drinking age is like 21. So that, you know, I remember drinking a lot of green tea that trip to Las Vegas, because I had terrible skin at that point. I was still dealing with like puberty, like I was a late bloomer, and so I was very self-conscious about myself, and I was just drinking a lot of green tea because I heard it helped. I don't think it did. I don't think it did. Okay, so the Venetian. This is, I would say, also in my top 5 favorite hotel in terms of theme. You walk inside and you see the canals and you see just, you know, how can I even put it into words? It's just very special. It makes you feel like you're outside, but you're also inside type of thing. Yeah, the Venetian is very fun and fancy. Fun and fancy is how I'll describe it. Yeah. David Chang, covered by lampposts. Excellent. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite hotels to go to is the Venetian. Definitely always stop there at some point and spend some time there. It's just good vibes. I get good vibes from the Venetian. Shin Lim. I always think that it would be like fun to have a Vegas residency, just like wake up and then do a show and then repeat that for what feels like eternity. It's like kind of a torturous way to spend a life, but yeah, I don't know. Once again, passing it on. This is Palazzo. I always feel like Palazzo is a part of Venetian, but it's like a completely separate hotel. It still has a lot of those Italian aesthetics that I appreciate in a hotel. It makes it feel fancy. On the other side, you have Gillies. I wonder what happens there. So you have that Treasure Island, like I mentioned. That boat, Senior Frogs. Okay, Senior Frogs. Can I get onto the other side somehow? There you go. The only Senior Frogs I've ever been to was in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta. Most fun. So much fun. I don't know what it's like to go to this one, but definitely check it out. It's a bar. It's a bar. But Senior Frogs just feels like a kid's playhouse type of thing, and I'm all for that. I'm actually all for that. All right, let's keep moving this way. So we have the Wynn and the Encore on this side. These are fancy ass places. So fancy. I love them. One day, I also like exploring, so I don't like being this far north either. I kind of like to be where, like Paris, Bellagio, I think that is like the primest location to be in if you want to walk around and see things, which is really what I want to do. But I feel like the hotel rooms at Wynn and Encore will, like, if the goal is just to party or spend money at a casino, maybe Cosmo, Wynn, Encore would be a lot of fun too. I am sure of it. You go in and you just feel how expensive things are, and I kind of like that. I kind of like just being in an expensive place. Like, am I gonna spend money? No, I don't need to, because the experience, just me being there. I bet the hotel fees are quite high. Always remember to check the hotel fees. Don't act surprised once you get there. There's usually hotel fees in Vegas, and it's like about $50 a day or something. It's kind of ridiculous. It really does add up, but yeah, just be aware of them. On the other side here is the fashion show, which it's just a bunch of stores. It's a mall. It's really just a mall. But it's a good place to, if you're walking around all day and you find yourself in this area, it is a good spot to like take a break from all the casino stuff and just see store stuff. Yeah. So we're pretty far north now on Las Vegas Boulevard. Go Wynn, Encore. And this part is still being developed. There's going to be no new hotels here at some point. I know they're working on something right now. In fact, yeah, we're just passing Encore here. Wynn and Encore are the newer hotels on the strip. And then this place that this was not here the last time I went to Vegas, which is 2 years ago. So it looks like a lot has happened to this spot. This is, what is it even called? Resorts World. Yeah, so this is new hotel. I don't know when it's gonna, okay, I don't think it's done yet. Maybe it's ready, I guess, but I feel like this is this street view is January 2021, so I feel like there's a lot there still needs to do in 6 months from where this is, but that's a lot of good progress. But yeah, I can't wait to see the north side of the Vegas Strip be more developed. This McDonald's, I don't remember this McDonald's being here. But then again, like the south side, I'm not usually this far north for as long of a period as I want to be. Here is Circus Circus. I've actually never been to Circus Circus. I feel like I should, to truly get the authentic Vegas experience. It feels like old Vegas, which is Fremont. I'm not gonna have time to get all the way there today. Maybe in the future I'll do a Fremont, but definitely check out Fremont. Circus Circus is not Fremont Street. Circus Circus to me is like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That's the kind of experience I think I would get if I go here. But look at this. I don't even know what this is called. Just the way it juts out and it kind of just hangs there with nothing supporting it. That is incredible. I've also only heard like negative things about Circus Circus, to be honest. So I guess that's what kind of deterred me from going there. But whatever. I'd still like to go there one day. Okay, where am I? I'm on Elvis Presley Boulevard. Okay, let's get back up here. So we are nearing the end of our Google Maps adventure here in Las Vegas. Continuing down Las Vegas Boulevard, heading north, and I think a wonderful place to end up. See, like look at all this, like the space in between, and up ahead you see Stratosphere. Actually, Strat, I believe, is what they rebranded as. Strat. Like, I don't know if shortening your name, does it really make you cool? I don't think so. Yeah, and there's the Sahara. I've actually never been to Sahara. I've never been this far north, to be real with you. I've never walked this far north. Or any other way. General store. I just love these strip malls. Just look at this big liquor store. Yeah, Elvis Presley stuff. Elvis Presley is like the most tragic, famous person in the world. that ever existed, in one of my opinion, to be like so famous and then so loved, beloved, and so like disrespected at the same time. Yeah, very interesting guy. This is Fun City, Chapels and Bell, perfect place to get married. My wife and I always talk about renewing our vows in Vegas, and I look forward to that when we do that at some point. It will really only just be a reason to go to Vegas. That's honestly what it is. So here, we're arriving at Strat, and okay, like this arch is like new. So like one, if I go further back, it doesn't exist. Oh, sorry about that. My cat memes. I just exposed my cat memes. Anyways, here's Stratosphere. I believe they still have that roller coaster on the top of the building. And this is the new Las Vegas arches. I think they constructed it a while back. As you can see, there's a lot of development still happening in this area. But I feel like this is a good place to stop. Good place to finish off our journey in Las Vegas. Just going all the way up the strip and just reliving old memories. What fun would it be to go to Las Vegas right now, especially as the season changes and it's getting a little colder outside. Soon things aren't getting better here in Canada. I don't know when we'll be able to travel again, to be honest. For a while, things were looking good. I'll say around July, things were looking good, but things are looking worse now. However, these Google Maps adventure, they have been a lot of fun, but I don't want to break it to you right now, because if you watch all the way to this point, you're probably enjoying it, I suppose, and I feel like I need to give it to you straight. This is probably the last Google Maps adventure for a while, if not indefinitely. I'm going on hiatus. I'm going to focus on other things, just in terms of what I want to do. These are a lot of fun, but they take energy to do. And I've done the cities that I really wanted to do. I've done London, I've done Vegas, I did New York. Those are three cities that was the reason I started this project. Please check those out. And if there is a lot of demand for it, I might do it again. But that is it for now. That is all the Google Maps adventure that I have planned for you. For whatever, we'll call this season 1, and maybe it'll come back. Maybe it'll be renewed. Maybe it'll be a fun thing on the Discovery Channel or the Travel Network or something like that. It won't be, but this was a lot of fun to do. It started out as an idea and I did it, so I'm very happy about that. And thank you for joining me on a trip walking down memory lanes of Las Vegas. It's truly one of the places I long to go again as soon as I could travel. Definitely, if I was to get on a flight right now and you told me you could go anywhere, I would probably say Vegas, because I know I'll have a good time there, even if it's just for a weekend or whatever. I don't have to like do too much. Just pack an extra pair of underwear or something. Thank you. With that being said, I appreciate you a lot for spending your time with me and for supporting Google Maps Adventure for the duration. And yeah, I'm Elliot. I will see you real soon.